Chapter 3. We're gonna read Chapter 3 now. Chapter 3. Officer Philon left his position in the field and walked over to the kids. "What's going on?" he asked. "Where's our umpire?" "We don't know," Josh said. "But Mr. Pocket's baseball collection is missing," he said. Officer Philon blinked. "What do you mean missing?" he asked. Josh told Officer Philon what he discovered. "Did you see anyone else inside the clubhouse?" the police chief asked. Josh shook his head. "I was the only one there," he said. Officer Fallon looked toward the clubhouse. "Pete went inside just before you did, Josh," Officer Fallon said. "Are you telling me he wasn't in there?" Josh shook his head. "I didn't see anyone. After I noticed the baseballs were gone, I got the heck out of there." Mr. Pocket stormed up to them. His face was as white as his hair. "They are gone," he said. "Thaddeus, just how much are those balls worth?" Officer Fallon asked. "A great deal," Mr. Pocket said, "but I don't care about the money. My father gave me those balls." "I'll do my best to get them back for you," Officer Fallon said. He ran toward the parking lot where he'd parked his cruiser. Mr. Pocket sighed. "Well, I guess the game is over," he said. He walked away. A minute later the kids heard his voice over the public address system. "Ladies and gents, I'm sorry to report that the game has been called off." There was a pause. Then he continued. "We hope the game will be continued in a few days. We'll let you know as soon as we know more. Thank you." The kids watched Mr. Pocket walk toward the main street. The people in the bleachers began leaving. They could hear their disappointed voices as they passed. The men straggled off the field, looking confused. Allie walked over to the kids. "What's this all about?" she asked. "And what's with Mr. Pocket? After I talked with you guys, he looked like he swallowed some nails." Josh explained. "And Pete disappeared the same time the baseballs did," Whispers added. "You're kidding, right?" Alice said. "Nope, Officer Fallon just took off," Josh said. "I think he's gonna try to find Pete." Allie looked sad. "Gee, he seems like such a nice guy," she said. "I thought so. I thought so too," Dick said. "Do you know where he came from?" Whispers asked Allie. "I mean, we don't really know anything about him." "All I know is what he told me a couple days ago," said Allie. "He came to a diner for a coffee and we chatted. He said he was heading down south, but he stopped to earn some more money. He's got a trailer parked at the river campground." "But where did he come from?" asked Dick. Alice shrugged. "Didn't say, but I find it hard to believe that he's a thief." "You know what's weird?" Josh said. "If Pete planned to steal the balls, why do it during the game?" "Maybe he figured no one would be in the clubhouse," Whispers said. "I guess he was right." "It seems awfully strange," Alice said. "Well, if the game is off, I'd better get back to my dinner." Allie hurried away and the kids walked slowly toward the main street. A lot of the people stopped them to ask what was going on. The kids explained, and the people just went shaking their heads. Just as the kids reached the main street, Officer Fallon's cruiser appeared. In the back seat, staring straight ahead, sat Pete Unkenose. So Pete is catched? Then what is the end? What is the next 7 chapters? That's about maybe Pete escaping from the jail and the officers and Rose and Josh and Dink catches him. That's the boring book. But it's not a real book because I never pick a boring book. And that is the end of chapter 3. See you next time with chapter 4. Bye!